You've probably heard someone say that the belly is the enemy of health. But when it comes to male sexual life, this isn't just a popular saying. It's proven science. Researchers from the Endocrine Society followed men with different body mass indexes and came to a clear conclusion. The larger the abdominal circumference, the lower the testosterone production. This hormone is the engine of desire, energy, and vitality. The problem is that visceral fat, the kind that builds up right in the belly region, hides a dangerous detail. It harbors an enzyme called aromatase, responsible for converting testosterone into estrogen, the predominant female hormone. The result? Men with bigger bellies not only have less testosterone circulating in their bodies, but they also start accumulating excess estrogen. And this silent shift creates a domino effect. Desire drops, physical stamina weakens, and confidence in bed begins to fade. This isn't something that happens overnight, but gradually, until the man realizes something has changed, often when he's already facing a more advanced stage of erectile dysfunction. What's even more striking is that this hormonal impact doesn't depend on extreme obesity. Even just a few extra centimeters around the waist are enough to trigger this mechanism. And here's the critical point. While many men believe erectile difficulties come only with age, the truth is that belly fat can accelerate this process by years. But the problem doesn't stop with hormones. Something even more concerning is happening inside the body, something that directly affects the blood vessels and changes the way the penis responds to stimulation. And that's exactly what we'll talk about now. When we talk about erections, many people think only about desire or hormones, but the truth is that an erection is, above all, a vascular event. The penis becomes firm because blood flows into it with intensity, and this is where belly fat becomes a serious problem. Abdominal fat isn't inert. It releases inflammatory substances that attack the walls of blood vessels. Studies from the American Heart Association show that this process narrows the arteries and increases insulin resistance, two factors that impair circulation. And the most alarming detail is that the blood vessels in the penis are much thinner than those in the heart or brain. In other words, they're the first to suffer. That's why erectile dysfunction in many cases appears even before a heart attack or stroke. The body starts giving silent warnings, and men often ignore them. A big belly doesn't just affect appearance. It chokes the arteries, reduces blood flow, and as a consequence, robs erections of their firmness. But don't think the impact stops with the body. The consequences of this condition go far beyond circulation, directly affecting the mind and the way a man sees himself. When the belly grows, it's not only the body that changes, the mind suffers too. Many men begin to feel less attractive when looking in the mirror, and this self-perception directly affects sexual performance. Studies published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine show that dissatisfaction with body image is among the main triggers of performance anxiety, and anxiety, in turn, releases cortisol, the stress hormone. Constantly elevated cortisol interferes with testosterone production and weakens erection quality. It's a vicious cycle. The bigger the belly, the greater the insecurity. The greater the insecurity, the harder it becomes to stay potent. The result is that sexual intercourse stops being pleasurable and becomes surrounded by worry. The man enters the bedroom already fearing failure, and that fear alone is enough to sabotage his own performance. But the most important point is to understand that a big belly isn't just a matter of vanity or self-esteem. It works as a silent marker of more serious health problems that the body tries to warn about long before a formal diagnosis. Few men realize this, but erectile dysfunction associated with belly fat can be the first sign of serious diseases that haven't yet been diagnosed. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that impotence can precede the appearance of cardiovascular problems, like heart attack and hypertension, by up to 3 years. This happens because the blood vessels in the penis are much more sensitive and show signs of failure earlier than those in the heart or brain. In addition, abdominal fat is directly linked to the risk of type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. And these two factors not only damage erections, but also accelerate vascular aging throughout the entire body. In other words, when the belly grows, it's not just appearance at stake. It's a silent warning that something bigger is happening inside. This is where many men go wrong. They treat erectile difficulties as an isolated problem, when in reality, it may be an early symptom of an underlying disease still hidden. But the good news is that this situation isn't permanent, and there are simple ways to reverse the course. That's exactly what we'll cover in the next few minutes. The good news is that the risk of impotence linked to belly fat can be reduced and even reversed with consistent, simple changes. Studies from the Mayo Clinic show that losing just 5 to 10% of body weight is enough to significantly improve testosterone levels and blood circulation. It doesn't require radical transformations overnight, but progressive adjustments that bring lasting results. The first key is movement. Aerobic exercises like brisk walking, light jogging, or cycling, combined with strength training, naturally boost nitric oxide production. This molecule is responsible for relaxing blood vessels and allowing firmer erections. In practice, more physical activity means more energy, more confidence, and better performance. The second key is nutrition. When your plate is filled with a variety of vegetables, lean proteins, and antioxidant-rich fruits, like watermelon and pomegranate, your whole body benefits. These foods not only protect the heart, but also directly improve circulation to the penis, reducing the silent inflammation caused by abdominal fat. Science has already shown that watermelon and beetroot are powerful sources of citrulline and natural nitrates, substances that boost nitric oxide production, which relaxes blood vessels and supports firmer erections. That's why, in addition to a balanced diet, practical supplements based on these nutrients can be valuable allies. One example is Erectine gummies, formulated with concentrated beetroot extract. They provide, in a simple and tasty way, what the body needs to improve circulation and support a healthier, intimate life. If you'd like to learn more about Erectine gummies, you'll find the link in the video description and pinned in the first comment. Finally, sleep is our third key. Poor sleep lowers testosterone and raises cortisol, creating the perfect scenario for erectile dysfunction. Restoring deep, regular nights of sleep is just as important as training or eating well. What's most inspiring is that, in my practice, I've seen men recover firmness, desire, and vitality simply by applying these changes. A big belly doesn't have to define your future. Every small choice you make today can be the beginning of a real transformation. A large belly is more than just an aesthetic issue. It's a silent marker that signals hormonal decline, circulatory problems, psychological impact, and often the early stages of more serious diseases like diabetes and heart problems. What begins as just a few extra inches around the waist can evolve into a chain reaction that robs not only sexual potency, but also overall health and quality of life. So, if you've noticed your belly growing, understand this. It's your body's warning sign. Don't wait for the problem to get worse. Start changing your habits now and protect your future. If this content made sense to you, subscribe to the channel, activate the notification bell, and share this video with someone who needs to hear this warning. Here, every week, you'll find serious, science-based information to take care of your intimate health and your quality of life. I'm Dr. Emily Carter, urologist and sexologist, and I'll see you in the next video.